What if everything that we were told about the nature of reality and who we are is wrong? What if you're not only the creator of your personal experience, but the only power that exists in your reality? This isn't manifestation. It's not mindset. It's not something you do. It's who you are. It's identity. It's frequency. It's multidimensional. And what if science backs it up? Hey, love. Today we're going deep into what I believe is the most important piece of the manifestation conversation, but really goes beyond manifestation. It's not a hack. It's not a ritual. It's not a vision board or a morning routine. This is about identity. It's about energy. And it's about becoming the version of you that reality actually responds to. And it's the shift into I am. It's a shift in consciousness. Now, not everyone is going to vibe with this kind of video. But if you're here and you're a mystic-minded woman like I am, I invite you to play with the concept. And so I'm going to offer you a 90-day guide as well to aid you in your exploration if you should choose to come with me on this little experiment. And so when you declare that I am source, I am the source of my reality, of everything that's going on in my experience, you're not just being poetic, right? The idea is that you're anchoring into the deepest truth. You're actually reaching the deepest truth of all the esoteric traditions, all the mystery schools, all of the occult knowledge, right? And anchoring into the fact that the same creative intelligence that births stars, that blooms flowers, that orchestrates galaxies is you, is flowing through you, is living this life experience through you. And so this means that you stop outsourcing your power to circumstance. It means you stop reacting like life is happening to you. And you start responding as the one who is creating it, moment by moment. Not someday, not when you're finally healed or when you feel ready, but now. And again, and again, and again. And so, say plans fall through, right? You get ghosted. Your bank balance isn't where you want it to be. Old identity might spiral, right? Why is this happening again? What am I doing wrong? Right? But the I am identity, she pauses. She breathes. She remembers. I am source. I decide what this moment means. I am not defined by what I see. And I get to choose right now. See the shift? This is how we move from being at the mercy of reality to becoming the master of it. And the wild part is that both ancient wisdom and modern science are saying the same thing. Now, of course, people who wish to prove me wrong are going to find plenty of reasons, of scientific studies, of contradictory things to prove me wrong, because quite literally, when we go looking for something, we find it. And so I still really enjoy looking at what science has to say. And our latest science actually really supports this in the most amazing ways. So the first thing is quantum mechanics, quantum physics, right? There's an experiment called the observer effect. And this is where particles, they find that they exist in a state of potential, right? They're a wave. They're not solid form. They're not one designated thing until they're observed. And so the observation, the consciousness, collapses that wave into a fixed reality. And so what this points to is that where you place your awareness literally determines what becomes real. There's also an experiment done, a global consciousness project. It's called the PEAR Lab, did it, PEAR. And they did decades of research. And their research points to the fact that your intention affects physical systems. So this is from, they tested all sorts of things, right? From random number generators to collective events. And this points toward the fact that consciousness is not passive, right? That it's a force. And when it uses its awareness, it can actually change the outcome of events in the physical world. And then there's the Heart Math Institute, which is one I definitely would tell you to look up. Fascinating research that they've done. And they talk about when the heart and the brain enter coherence through emotions like gratitude and love, that you literally become a tuning fork, right? So all of their collective research points to the fact that our body emits a measurable frequency, and that frequency attracts outcomes that match. It's fascinating. Neuroplasticity is another one, neuroscience. Plasticity states that your brain rewires itself based on what you practice. So if you repeat, I am not enough, your brain will build that reality. And when you start living from I am source, your entire system starts to organize around that reality. And so, what if this is the spiritual truth? What if you are a multidimensional being? What if your higher self exists outside of time? And in every moment, you're shifting into one of many different parallel versions of reality. Now, not based on what's happening around you, but based on your identity, your assumptions, your choices, your frequency. And maybe that's why affirmations only work when they align with your embodied state, and that visualization only works when it's paired with coherent identity, or why mindset doesn't create. Frequency does. So we need to shift to this not trying to make something happen, but becoming the version of you that already lives it, but not by trying to become something else, but by realizing that you already are. You're not chasing the dream. You are shifting into the reality where it's already yours. So how do you live as the source of, as the only power, as the operant power of your personal experience? You decide who you are. Not someday, right now. Who is the version of you who already has what you want? How does she speak? Think, breathe, love. You get to literally decide. You don't have to take your past with you into your future, any of it. You could literally decide to end any story that you want right here and now. and step into a reality where it never happened? What if that's possible? What if you practiced it for 90 days? What if you practiced the coherence? That's the second step. Regulating your nervous system, right? Entering the frequency of peace, the frequency of presence, the present moment. That's the only place that we can create anyway, right? Learning how to trust that you've made a decision and that you're sticking to it. Trusting in your own power. And then holding that frequency, even when reality tests you, right? Even when it gets difficult, even when the opposite of what you'd like to see starts showing up. So when you see things that contradict your decision, that's okay. Just say, this is not what I choose. I am the source. I am the power. I decide. And I choose, and then follow it up with what you've chosen. Leaning into trusting the unseen, trusting the unknown, right? Reality is slower than consciousness, right? So our job is to hold the identity, not hustle the outcome. And so let's make this simple and clear. You are not a victim. You are just not manifesting things outside of you. You're not just manifesting things outside of you. In fact, it's just a reflection of your inner world. There actually is no outside of you. This is the thinking behind this, right? You are the field, right? The entire reality, right? You are the frequency that creates physical reality. You are the source, the creator of it all. This is not about belief. It's truth. Supported by physics, neuroscience, biology, and lived spiritual experience. Ancient wisdom backs this up even deeper than science ever could. It's just now in the last 20 years or so that science is really starting to catch up. So when you decide who you are and you live from that identity, reality doesn't just shift, it reorganizes around you. And so I invite you to try this with me for 90 days. Wake up every morning and say, I am source. I am the creator of this personal experience. It doesn't have to be more than that right now. I am the creator here. I am the creatrix. I am the priestess. I am the goddess. I am whatever works for you, right? I am the power. I decide. And things are going to come up that test it, that challenge you, that make you doubt. Let them rise and keep deciding. Keep moving back to your decision. But I decided, and my say is final. Because they're not permanent. They're shifting. Everything in our physical reality is constantly in a state of shifting and changing. In fact, we shift to several different versions of our reality per second. It's just that we don't realize that we're doing it. And so when you stop reacting instead and remember who you are, that's when you'll really begin to witness things that seem like miracles. Maybe even actual miracles, alignment, quantum shifts, synchronicities. So I invite you to say it, to live it, to become it. I am the source of my reality, and I decide. So drop a comment below. Let me know if you're ready to stop waiting and start collapsing reality from the inside out. And in Monday's video, we're going to take this further, and I'm going to provide a full guide and a PDF to help you embody this on a daily basis. But until then, remember who you are. Practice presence and be the version of you who already lives the life that you desire, because that is the real you. That's who you are. It's just that simple. See you soon.